Okay, the next presentation is by Dan. Dan and his colleagues have developed a search engine optimization platform. And the reason I'm really... Hey, quiet! I'm talking. Thank you. Okay, Dan, you're on. And I want to say something about search engine optimization. I found it... It's one of these industries that have popped up because there's a need for them. But it's such a murky industry. Every time I try to engage with it, I was basically horrified by paying some kind of consultant £600 a day to basically search engine optimize, do something that I couldn't actually Google myself and get my head around in a day. And I always thought, well, why am I paying those guys?
Excellent. So I'm Dan from pluginseo, and we found exactly the same thing as Christian. We think SEO is broken, and that's because SEO kind of falls into 4 different groups from what we've seen. The first group is your sweatshop SEO. It's the kind of SEO that costs you $10 to get thousands of backlinks. It's the kind of stuff that you can put a little bit of money into, and it's very hit and miss. You might get something back, you might get nothing at all. And is it worth it? Not really, and you do run the risk of a ban as well. The second is the one that's really given SEO a bad name over the years, and that's the black hat SEO. That's really stuff that search engines don't like at all. It can have really good beneficial effect on your traffic. You might see an uplift, but generally there's no long-term benefit with that kind of SEO. And in fact, you can risk a ban from the search engines. So again, I would say not really worth considering. Health warning slapped on that one. There's the third area, which is... Oh, sorry. There's the third area, which is the kind of SEO that most people are familiar with. It's the experimental SEO. And I would liken this to building your own roller coaster. It sounds like a great idea, and it can be really good, but is it worth all the time and effort? And just like building your roller coaster, it can be kind of a bit, it can be small benefit, or you can kill yourself. This kind of SEO is very dangerous, and if you're not doing it day in, day out, and if you haven't got your basic SEO in place, I wouldn't bother with that kind at all. Which brings me to the fourth area of SEO, and it's the paid by numbers type. Really, what most people who practice professional search optimization don't really want you to know is that search engine optimization is quite straightforward, it's quite simple. But what we feel at pluginseo is people lack the tools and the knowledge to implement search engine optimization on their site. And really the good type of SEO, the kind of SEO that us as startups and people who are bootstrapped and trying to get a bit of traffic to the website, a bit of interest, falls into these 4 categories here. I'm not going into too much detail, but suffice to say the first category is easily understood and crawlable websites. If you want to do that kind of SEO, just download the search engine optimization guides from Google and Bing. That'll tell you all you need to know for the first one. There's a second one which is interesting because creating great content is something that you're probably doing anyway. But what I would say with that is the important aspect of that when it comes to SEO is really squeezing out every little drop of search engine optimization you can from the content that you're already creating anyway. And there's a bunch of stuff there, I won't bore you with it all now, but essentially it's getting the basics in place and dissipating that content out around the internet. And make sure you create a reason for people to come through to your original content and access that. And really, if you've got that great content in place, and you've squeezed out every drop, that is one of the cornerstones of search engine optimization and something that really brings the traffic in. The third aspect was drive your search engine optimization with data, with hard facts. And why that's been traditionally quite hard for search engine optimization as opposed to paid search is that, as this slide shows, 20 to 25% of Google queries have never been searched before. So that means if you're optimizing around particular keywords and particular phrases, you're not going to capture that traffic at all. So really, optimizing for search intent is what we're doing with plugin SEO. What you can do is you can work out the intent of your visitors based on these three categories here: informational, navigational, and transactional, and then optimize around that instead. So I'd just like to show you how plugin SEO helps you do that. What we've built here is the ability to build your own keyword hierarchy. So you've got thousands of searches that potentially come into your website every day. How on earth do you capture that and make sense of it? Well, we've built this hierarchy here where you can drag and drop keywords and put them in intent groups. So as the next slide shows, you can look at people that visit your site and work out, are they visiting me because they want to buy habits? Do they just want to learn how to cook it? Do they want to have this recipe? And then what you can do with those keyword groups is work out how you're performing for those search intents as they visit your site. And as we can see, that's important for SEO because optimizing around individual keywords just doesn't work. So plugin SEO helps you track your performance against thousands of different individual keywords. Second, when it comes to creating content, one of the best things you can do is link internally to that content. But if you've got a website of fair size, or if you're an organisation with a few hundred employees, you're not going to know what all that content is, or what that content's about. So we've created this content creation tool, so that when you're typing, it suggests internal links for your website, based on what people have actually searched for to arrive at your site. And then applying that link is a click, and it goes into your content like that. Oh, there's a close-up. The second aspect we've done is an SEO advisor. Now, most people don't really care too much about inspecting every single tag on their HTML when they create it. So this SEO advisor does that for you. You've created your bit of content, you click the button to advise on your SEO, and it gives you a bunch of suggestions there that you can then go on to implement. And that's really useful because people who are creating your content often don't know what aspects they should look for in your content to optimize around. So that's plugin SEO. We've got a bunch of other stuff in there as well, but I'm not going to give you it all. So we've got an API for everything. So everything you can do for the user interface, you can do through the API. We've got a dashboard to track your performance. You can put your competitors in and we'll track them as well, so you don't need to be checking all these APIs yourself all the time. And we've got an important component there as well. We've open sourced the descriptive URIs aspect of our framework as well. So you can do what you want with that and implement what you want. About links, keyword suggestions. We're going to go for a freemium model, but we're in a free beta at the moment, so there's no risk of a data login. You put the API there, you get your data whenever you want it, and you can track your organic rank as well. And what we're looking for is for you to sign up to the beta. We're looking for partners in complementary markets, for you to build something cool using our API, and we're looking for some investment as well. So pluginseo.com.
Just then, before you go, my usual question here is, if people don't mention it, what's your business model?
Business model? What we're really targeting to that is people who use Google Analytics and stuff like that. So Google Analytics is free, but they also have a premium product on top of that. So you can do all the basic stuff that you need to with plugin SEO. But maybe if you want to manage a greater number of keywords, then that's when our charge will kick in as well.
Okay, premium model. Thanks. Yeah, makes sense.